By the looks of it, the Game of Thrones prequel is giving us too little content to play our favorite game, Name That Bum. Except for Matt Smith's bottom, the Game of Thrones prequel has been significantly more modest in its use of nudity than its predecessor. Has the #MeToo movement reached Westeros? Or has the House of the Dragon given up on You gotta keep watching to find out the answers you're looking for. First things first, has House of the Dragon really given up on Whenever a yearly Game of Thrones pub quiz was held, back in the show's watercooler prime, Name That Bum was always the favorite round. The round involves projecting massive images of solitary bums, such as Khal Drogo's full moon ponytail on the wall and Daenerys Targaryen's pre-bath buttock flash, and asking the crowd to identify the proud owner. It's a good thing that there hasn't been a House of Dragon quiz yet, because Matt Smith would be the answer and the round would last around 30 seconds. Of course, we're only 3 episodes into this intriguing, but thus yet fairly competitive prequel. Anything is still possible and almost certainly will occur, and we trust the directors with it. Next up, have we witnessed any explicit content yet? By the 3rd episode of Game of Thrones, we've already seen a whole generation of ruthless Lannister children, Daenerys and Drogo's ridiculously shaggy outdoor wedding, and an incredible amount of background activity at 2 pillow houses. But so far in House of the Dragon, there's been one noticeably awkward scene in a shady house and one quick scene between Prince Daemon and his love interest Mysaria, which appeared to be only to fulfill the fantasies of obsessive Doctor Who fans who wanted to see the former Time Lord's alien butt cheeks, and one tapestry hanging in the quarters of the annoying Ser Otto Hightower, so it's soon to say that the directors have ripped us off of the adult content. Anyways, we don't know how long the situation will last, but will King Viserys suddenly throw aside one cumbersome robes and flaunt his majestic seat, or will the newest heart-throb, Fabien Frankel, reveal what lies beneath his white robe and a gleaming armor? Do they even have anyone's true desire? The answer may be yes or no, but we'll have to wait to find out. Moving on, why would people not want to see celeb bums? Truth be told, times have changed. And honestly, when Game of Thrones debuted 10 years ago, the world was shady and a bit creepier. It was still unusual to see regular explicit nudity on television, especially in a medieval fantasy series. For many viewers and critics, the innovation gave the show a new ballsy and even slightly mature feel that set it apart from other sword and sorcery series with its cheery hobbits and simple moral certainty. The drama appeared more daring by including more difficult aspects, including incest, prostitution, and forced marriage. Following up, do people prefer less nudity though? Game of Thrones made a target out of itself right out of the gate, in contrast to George R.R. Martin's source novel. Daenerys is raped by her new husband Khal Drogo in the 1st episode. Despite this, the two went on to develop a strong emotional bond throughout the remaining episodes. The brutal murder of the sorcerer Ross and another wedding night assault against one of the few genuinely sympathetic characters in the series, Sansa Stark, are just 2 examples of how the trope of using violence as a tool to shock the audience would be employed mercilessly in later series. So even though the show's gleeful fondness for exposed flesh at first might have been mistaken for simple candy eye, that was soon impossible due to the scene's growing ugliness and graphic content. Did we really need to see so many of Littlefinger plotting while nude extras while having a good time in the background? It didn't help that the full frontal nudity tended to be almost exclusively female and frequently completely gratuitous. By later seasons, the #MeToo movements emerged had brought out discomfort into stark focus. The show had ceased to feel fearless and had instead begun to feel exploited and crude. Coming up, can House of the Dragon fix Game of Thrones problems? One problem in the Game of Thrones was that it felt like it was written by a really horny teenager as well as a nerdy historian. The show may have gotten giddy, horny, and erotic lowlights amidst its winter threat, but the way that sex took a turn later in the show left a really bad aftertaste in the viewers' mouths. The prequel usage of sex was so controversial that it plagued House of the Dragon even before its release. So the bigger question here is, can House of the Dragon therefore reverse it? Is it possible to include regularly without abusing the actors or alienating the audience? The 1st episode's brothel scene demonstrated that the producers believe gratuitous nudity to be just as much a part of the Game of Thrones experience as silly hair, inventive swearing, and amputated limbs. By the looks of it, it feels like they'll undoubtedly try. We're also making this assumption based on the behind-the-scenes measures like an intimacy coordinator. It'll be kinda necessary if the show is even half as long as its sequel. However, the more important question is whether viewers will want it. Can we wash away the sour taste that's far too graphic assaults left on us? Will there ever be another round of Name the Bum? And perhaps most importantly, will we ever be treated to what would unquestionably be the pinnacle of Game of Thrones movement, the sight of a Targaryen noble riding their dragon into battle naked, sword in hand, silver hair streaming proudly? That would undoubtedly be a cause that we can all get behind. Looks like we gotta wait and find out for ourselves though. Moving on to some other news. First up, House of the Dragon Season 2 announced. After only 1 episode had aired, HBO officials declared declared that House of the Dragon would return for a second season. The first episode of the program, which is set 200 years before the events of Game of Thrones, debuted on the 21st of August. It was reported that House of the Dragon was the most watched HBO series premiere in network history with approximately 10 million US viewers. The second season of the show looked inevitable given the first season's early success, and Francesca Orsi, executive vice president of HBO programming, said in a statement that they are beyond proud of what the entire House of the Dragon team has accomplished with season 1. She appreciated the cast, saying, "They were incredible, and the crew took on a huge challenge and exceeded all expectations, producing a show that has already established itself as a must-see show." The message continued by expressing gratitude to showrunners Ryan Condal and Miguel Sapochnik, as well as book author George R.R. Martin for leading House of the Dragon. In other words, she said that they were excited to bring to life the epic House of Targaryen with a season 2. Next up, episode 6 stirs up rumors in the kingdom. The 6th episode of the House of the Dragon has a trailer. Now that the season is halfway done, HBO released a trailer for episode 6, hinting at a significant time jump. The 6th episode, The Princess and the Queen, started up 10 years after Ser Criston Cole, who led the attack at the royal feast and accused Prince Daemon of killing his cousin. The House of the Dragon episode 6 teaser opens with a conversation between two Targaryen courtiers discussing the latest development in the realm. Approximately 10 years ago, Prince Daemon abandoned the area undefended, leaving behind an ill and frail King Viserys, who passed out from shock after episode 5. The older forms of Princess Rhaenyra and Queen Alicent Hightower are then shown in the House of the Dragon episode 6 trailer. Rhaenyra married Laenor Valorin. Despite being aware of his orientation, an adult Aegon II is seen showing his swordsmanship in front of a small audience in the teaser. King Viserys, who earlier sent Otto Hightower from his position as the King's Hand, is among the Juliant mob. There's also a fleeting glimpse of Aemond, Alicent's second son, battling a dragon. The episode 6 trailer suggests that the people of King's Landing are dubious about her kids, with many of them thinking they are not genuinely Laenor's children. We await more drama with the time leap. Lastly, the latest trailer showed the cast changes. The new actors portraying Rhaenyra and Alicent were highlighted in a recent House of the Dragon trailer. Since the beginning of the show last month, Millie Alcock and Emily Carey have portrayed Rhaenyra Targaryen and Alicent Hightower respectively. However, it appears their time is almost up. In the 6th episode of House of the Dragon, which takes place after a time leap, Emma Darcy and Olivia Cook will make their screen debuts as the key characters' older selves. King Viserys also looks to be older in the other scenes in the trailer because of his sickness, and his deteriorating health just makes the ongoing battle to choose an heir more challenging. That's a wrap for this video, my friends. What do you prefer, bums out or not? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.